Good afternoon. Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast. It's Thursday. Mm-hmm. It's October 17th. Mm-hmm. And we are recording at roughly our normal time.
It's Rhinebeck Eve Eve.
Rhinebeck Eve Eve. 2 sleeps to Rhinebeck, 1 sleep to Needles Up, India Untangled, and other things on Friday.
Right.
Super
Angela
excited.
will be waking up in Rhinebeck tomorrow.
Yes, I will be. As soon as we're done podcasting,
Not quite Rhinebeck, but
leaving to go down in the gale force, wind, nor'easter, rainy nonsense. But anyway, sorry. We just assumed you all know what's happening here with that.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. We're working on it. This is a podcast or videocast or whatever really technically these things are called about yarn, knitting, some spinning, crocheting, and other things related to fiber industry, along with whatever else Kelly and I decide we want to talk about during the podcast.
Right. I would say yarn cast, but we talk about more than yarn.
Yeah.
Mostly a yarn cast.
Yeah. And we film this at our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
We film it during business hours, so you are going to
occasionally hear and see customers.
I'm going to again apologize. I'm still sick, and I have much more coffee this week than I was last week.
Not drinking coffee, but just, horse coffee.
I still have my sexy voice on, as somebody pointed out, which is hilarious. Sorry, guys. I'll try to fix that on the thing. So you can follow the store out on all social media as Must Love Yarn. Mm-hmm. And I'm Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins and Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
And we do have 2 podcast mascots. They are both meerkats.
Gauge and Swatch.
It's Gauge and Swatch, and they get into all kinds of shenanigans. And they are going on an adventure the next few days as well.
Of course they are.
So go check out their Instagram feed if you want some updates or to see what kinds of shenanigans these 2 get themselves into. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So we like to start our podcast each week with picks of the week, and we've got a whole pile of picks of the week for you.
We do. And I've only brought 2 of the yarns over that are going to be included the pick of the week. However, there are 5 total that are included. There's another one that we carry, but we're really low on inventory, so I didn't even throw it in there. This week, because of our Vermont Along that is happening, started October 1st and it's running through the end of the year.
I made it end January 1st because it happens to be a Wednesday.
Oh, perfect.
Podcast next day. So
that works.
And as you guys know, if the thread's not locked, you
keep
can
adding.
Post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can be, staying up New Year's Eve finishing.
And New Year's Day, unless you have to come to the store and do inventory.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah. So
can't win prizes if I don't get along anyway.
No, you can't. Our pick of the week this week is Green Mountain Spinnery Yarns. And I know, and I've got some new colors that came in, and we've restocked at Vermont Sheep and Wool. I actually picked up a big order, 2 giant boxes.
Nice.
So we didn't have to have them ship it, and because it's a
win-win.
Like
and yarn is heavy.
Yeah, it is, and it's like a 2.5 to 3 hour drive, I think, down to where they are, at least.
Yep.
So anyway,
and that's actually one of the few corners of the state that I'm not regularly.
Jen gets down that way sometimes, but
so this is going to be like the derailed podcast. It's already just anyway. Back to pick.
Anyway, so pick of the week is Green Mountain Spinnery, Weekend Wool, Mountain Mohair, Sylvan Spirit, Music, and Alpaca Elegance. Those are the 5. If you put any of those in your cart between when this podcast goes live and 2 weeks from...
Just fingers crossed tomorrow morning.
Right.
We'll see.
Then you will get 10% off of those 5 yarns. Just a little information. So the Weekend Wool and Mountain Mohair are both worsted to Aran weight. You can knit them at a heavier gauge if you need to. So the Mountain Mohair kind of fluffs up because it's more like a singles, and it acts like Lopi yarn, but it's softer than Lopi, so it's a great substitute for that if you're looking for something a little softer, or quite a bit softer. And don't get me wrong, I love Lopi. The Weekend Wool is it's a 2-ply yarn. So, and you'll see a couple projects, one that's finished and one that I'm working on currently in the Weekend Wool. There's a great range of colors. Look at all those beautiful colors.
Amazing.
In there, and Green Mountain Spinnery dyes, they don't actually dye it at the spinnery. They have it dyed, and it's dyed in the wool. So when they get the yarn, the wool back dyed, they actually then blend the colors, and it gets spun that way. So there's a lot of depth to the yarn because of that, and it's really cool. So, you know, like this green, I don't know if I can get it close enough so you can see, but you can see the yellow and you can see the blue and everything, all of the different colors that then are combined to make up this color. So you get a lot of really cool depth to the yarn. So pricing on this, Weekend Wool is regularly $14.25, Mountain Mohair is $15.35, Sylvan Spirit $15.25, Alpaca Elegance $15.25, and Music is right now we've got it at $15. I think that price has gone up or will be going up, so but we've got it at that, so you can stock up now. So if you need some great yarn for your Vermont Along project, if you're going to be knitting along with us, you can take advantage of the 10% off. I'm not going to go through all the details of the yardage and the weights. All of that stuff is up on the website, and I'd be sitting here for a little while with 5
and
yarns.
they're pretty standard weights for DK Sport and worsted.
Yeah. So they do theirs in, I think they're 2 ounce. They're 2 ounce skeins, so they're not the traditional 4 ounce or 100 gram or what have you. But just be aware of that when you are ordering. And the Sylvan Spirit, Alpaca Elegance, and Music are DK, and they're pretty interchangeable, so you can use them if a pattern calls for one or the other. They're pretty interchangeable. The Music and the Alpaca Elegance are probably more similar because the Sylvan Spirit is a single, and it's a wool and tencel blend, and I think it's a 50-50 blend. So the tencel just does behave a little bit different, whereas the Alpaca Elegance is mostly wool with some alpaca, and the Music is all wool. So, and then, as I said, the Weekend Wool and the Mountain Mohair are worsted to Aran weight. So, lots of great options for using these yarns. This is a new color that we brought in. It's not new to them. They've had it, I think, for a while, but I just brought this in. Oh, and if you're knitting the Felix, this is the colorway that it's knit in. It's called Alpenglow. So if you love that one, the Felix cardigan, this is the one that I was knit in, and I think it's really pretty, but I love this new. This is Sea Glass, and I loved it when I saw it, so that one had to come into the store. And then I also brought in Pumpkin in the Weekend Wool, which is, I love that too. And then there's this really beautiful gold pollen. You'll see that in my next project that I'm using. So lots of really great options for DK and worsted.
So you have a coupon code all set up?
I do.
Kelly's on top of things.
So the code for the discount that you'll use in your cart is Weekly Pick Spinnery.
Nice.
And you'll get 10% off. And if you need any tutorial on using that code, then go to episode 73, and Angela has done a nice tutorial of where that code goes.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us or get in contact with us before you put your order through.
Right. We're happy to answer any questions on it. Yep.
So it is hand knit weather here.
It is.
I'm so excited.
I could have gone head to toe hand knits because it was just really chilly. And
I forgot to list my socks. I'm actually wearing hand knit socks today too.
Nice.
Yes, all decked out.
Nice.
So I'm wearing my Watson cardigan, which is it's a very nice sweater cardigan. I may or may not have, when I was knitting it, referred to it as Bad Word Watson, just because it's lace weight held double, so it is not a super fast project, even though it's lace weight held double. I keep saying that it was knit on 4s. Apparently it's not on 6s. I'm wondering if I knit it on the wrong needles, which might explain a few things.
That could. Yep.
There's no way to know. So anyway,
That's funny.
What's it on? And also my recently completed shifty cowl.
Nice. My colors look a little familiar, right?
I know. Don't they look very similar? Very similar. This has been getting a lot of use.
Yeah.
I think I want to make some more cowl scarves like this.
Yeah.
They're easy to wear.
They're really easy to wear. Yeah.
Yep. I think my only issue is I wish it was a little tighter around the neck. So
mine sits actually a little bit tighter like that.
And mine's kind of,
which is funny because what size needles did you use?
the one the pattern called for.
You did.
Yeah.
That's funny. I did too, and mine is snugger than that.
I don't know.
Mine definitely sits closer to my neck.
Yeah. Who knows? Weird.
Anyway.
What you wearing, Kelly?
So I am wearing my Willow Creek sweater that I knit in Malabrigo Rios, and it is a very adjustable pattern. It gives you some different options for necklines. The sleeves actually were supposed to be short sleeves, and I just lengthened them and did a longer cuff on them, and there's like a 2-inch hem cuff ribbing at the bottom. But this color work part of it, I just did that on my own. I kind of knew how many stitches were on my needles, and I just divided it out, and it's not exactly perfect, but it worked, and nobody comes up to me and it's like, your stitches there are closer together than they are here for the the little dots. So there isn't really.
And if they were, might I suggest they find a hobby like knitting?
Yeah. Yeah. So the color work part of it is not in the pattern. It's just something that I threw in, and
because you had one skein of that top yarn, right? Or you had a yarn limitation of some sort.
I think
that you
so.
were trying to
I think so. I think I ended up with 2 because the cowl neck.
Oh, right.
Uses quite a lot.
Maybe that's what it was. You had 2, and whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember. But I knew I wanted to combine these 2 colors anyway because I really like them together. So I just did a little bit of color work at the top to make it work.
Nice.
It was a really fun pattern. It was easy, and I wear this sweater a lot. So.
Awesome.
Yep.
Super cool.
Yeah, so I didn't write this part down either, so I've had a few people ask me when I've been wearing it before if there's a pattern for it, but there's not, because you'd have to adjust it for different sizes and gauges and things like that. So it's just, I think it was like knit 1 in one color, knit 4 in the other, and then on the next row it was something like that. So keep changing it out.
I have hand knit socks on. Shorty socks.
Nice.
Actually, can you see shorty socks? Yeah.
Cute.
It's really awkward that I just stuck my foot in Kelly's face.
It really wasn't in my face.
Okay.
It may have looked like it on camera, but it wasn't. So it's fine.
Because it's sock wearing weather.
It is. It is.
Super exciting.
So I do have an FO this week.
Awesome. I got nothing.
It's not blocked yet, so it's not going to show very well. But it's done. I'm going to block it tonight so that I can have it for Rhinebeck.
Woohoo!
So I finished the hat Dana.
Nice.
So this is it, and I will definitely have to stretch it out and block it a little bit. It fits around my head great. As a cowl, it's really super snug because it basically is meant to fit your head. Mm-hmm. So when it sits up against your neck, it sits pretty close to your neck. So I changed the bottom a little bit. So when you cast on, I think you cast on like 10 stitches or something. So it's got kind of, it does one of these because of the cable pattern. It pulls it up. And so she ends up putting, so it's Bayron Handmade is the designer, Denise Bayron. I'm not sure how you say her name, but it's Bayron. That's how it's spelled. So she has 3 tassels that go on. This is a Green Mountain Spinnery weekend wool, and this is in the teal color. And I used every single last scrap of yarn. So I knit the pattern as it was written, and then I got to the ribbing, and she has you do a sewn bind off. So, and she tells you how much yarn to leave yourself. So what I did is I measured the amount of yarn I needed, and then I put it in a little bundle, and then I basically knit the ribbing until I got down to about that much yarn, which ended up being, I think, the 2 inches that she calls for for the ribbing. And so then I did the bind off, and so I actually stopped short because I got to the 2 inches, and then I still had plenty of yarn. So I did the sewn bind off, and then whatever yarn I had left, because I didn't know if I was going to be able to do a tassel or not, whatever yarn I had left, I did turn into a little tassel. But rather than leaving that bottom, that kind of was, it would have looked like, it's hard to show you, like this. It would have gone like that, an upside down V, I guess is the best way of explaining it. I actually brought those 2 sides together because they were trying to pull together anyway, and I grafted it so it made like a finished triangle like that.
Oh, cool. Which
is kind of there's a way of doing, rather than doing a garter tab cast on, you can actually just cast on, and you can bring the ends together
for like shawls and stuff.
For shawls and things like that, and it's basically what you do there. So that's really all I did there. Ta-da!
Nice.
So it just kind of completes the whole thing. So when I block it, I'll make sure that I smooth that out a lot so that it looks nice. And then that was all the yarn that I had left to make the tassel. But I used my little tail that I had when I cast on to just seam that or graft that little section there.
Nice.
So it'll definitely look better once it's all blocked out. But there's all the pretty little cables.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's done.
Super
it's a
cool.
Quick little knit.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still, I don't have any finished objects this week. Of course, spending most of the day in bed on Saturday probably did not help. There was not much knitting happening at my house this weekend or this week. Lots of trying to go to bed early and not get sicker. Silly cold.
Yeah.
So
what have you been working on, though?
I have been. I'm right in the middle of the row, which is that was kind of bad timing on my part.
Well, mine's circular, so I can talk about mine first if you would like.
Why don't we do that?
Okay. So I cast off the hat Dana, and if I haven't had a sweater on my needles lately, I'm not happy. It's really funny. I used to knit shawls all the time, and that was, if I didn't have a shawl on needles, then I wasn't happy. But now it's sweaters apparently. So at the spinnery, I picked this up at our retreat when Green Mountain Spinner came and set up in our marketplace. They brought this with them, and I think it hadn't been released for very long.
Yeah.
So I got it there, and so I actually bought a couple sweaters quantities of yarn to do some of the sweaters in here. There's some really great patterns in here.
Patterns in there.
We just brought this book in too, so if you want to get this, it's not on discount. It's not part of the weekly pick, but you could check it out on Ravelry, check out the patterns, and if you like enough of them to justify getting the whole book, we do now stock the book, so you can put that in with your order of yarn if you want. So it sells for $28, and there's some really, really great patterns in the book. So those are all of the patterns that are in there. Really great all around patterns. So I will show you the one that I cast on, and I've had this yarn since this spring to do this. So that is the pattern that I'm doing. It is the Button Bush Pullover by Heather Zappetti, which I think she's Stitch Butts, isn't she?
Maybe.
I think that's what she, her company. But it is, yes, brioche. So
Kelly's a brioche master.
It's bottom up, and it starts actually with kind of the same brioche at the bottom. So you do 3 inches, which I'll show you, and then you work from the bottom up, and then when you get to the sleeves, you separate the front and the back, and the sleeves are not then added, so you don't knit the sleeves. You actually finish the front, finish the back, and then you're going to pick up for the sleeves and work the sleeves down. So which I don't mind at all.
That's kind of a fun construction.
Yeah, and that way you can get a better fitting sleeve, because I'm pretty sure they have you do some short row shaping at the cap of the sleeve. So, which I appreciate, because sometimes the raglan shaping, even when they are knit from the bottom up, it's still raglan shaping, so they fit a little bit differently, and they usually have a tendency to want to slide off your shoulders.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't pick the same colors. I really like the colors that they did, but me and cream sweaters just don't get along, because
Yeah, me neither.
You know.
See a few episodes ago about my white shirt adventures.
So that's how far along I am. I just cast this on what day was it? Sunday? I think Sunday. So
whoa.
I've been cruising along on it. Once I get knitting on a sweater, it doesn't take me long to get started. So there's my 3 inches of brioche at the bottom, and then I've started the rest of the body of the sweater. So I used pollen. This is weekend wool again, so I went from my Hat Dana weekend wool to my weekend wool Button Bush Pullover, and this is the pollen colorway, and this is the rag. So let me show you. That is this one. So that not their ragtime yarn. They do have one that's called ragtime. That's not it. This is the weekend wool, but it's called gray rag. So it's just the marled yarn like that, and it's to 2 colors. So I thought that would be kind of fun. So there it is. Look at that lovely squishy brioche.
Nice.
And then the pollen. So I just started doing the decreases for the waist shaping. So I've got a lot of knitting, up the body before. So I'll have the decreasing and then increasing, and then it won't be too long, and I'll be separating the front and the back for at the armholes.
Nice.
So
awesome.
Yep. So there's just a whole lot of stock in it and a little bit of shaping.
Nice. I'm still not done with this row.
I'm still not done. Keep talking.
I'm still not done. It's the purl side. It's much slower.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And there's still
I can talk about
stitches.
the other pattern in here that I have yarn to make.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Although I want to do many of them.
Yeah, a lot of the patterns in there are so nice.
So our friend Larissa, who's coming up and going to do a trunk show here in November, the 9th, I believe, is the day we settled on.
Awesome.
So the saffron vest she wrote this pattern, and it's super cute. And she knit it in a Sylvan Spirit. And I actually have Sylvan Spirit, but I have the Sterling color, which is a much lighter gray than this. This is the hematite, I'm pretty sure, is the one that she used. But anyway, that's going to be my next one. My mother-in-law actually just finished one of these.
Nice.
Yep. So we went out to dinner last week before we went to Rhinebeck. So I went to Rhinebeck last weekend.
2 weekends in a row.
Because my husband grew up there, and so one of his best friends from school was getting married. So I guess was married, but they ended up doing the party. And
long story.
Long story.
Went down for a party.
So, but anyway, so I had saw her the night before, and we had dinner together, and I saw her finish. But the wedding was actually really cool. It was at Mills Mansion,
okay,
which is in Statsburg, which is just the very next town. I mean, they're touching, and it's now a New York State Park.
Oh, okay.
So you can go and tour the mansion, but I think you have to pay to tour the mansion, but to just use the ground. So if you guys are down there at Rhinebeck and you need some fresh air and you want to get out and walk around, you can go to just a little bit south of the village. And in Statsburg is Mills Mansion, and it's beautiful. It's right on the Hudson River. I took some really pretty pictures while I was there, and there's all kinds of walking trails all over, and it was really fun. Yeah. So, sorry I got off topic, but it was kind of sort of relevant, But yeah, it was a whirlwind trip. We went down. We left Saturday afternoon, got there in time for the wedding, and then stayed overnight and came home Sunday morning. So it's fine though. I mean, it's about like a three and a half,
yeah,
depending on the traffic.
That's
and
the wild card.
We went around Glens Falls because it was, however you want to say it, either Columbus Day weekend or Indigenous People weekend. Which is now what it is in Vermont.
Yes, Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yep. So it's a really busy weekend up this way anyway, because all the
foliage.
Yeah. So
now
it's completely gone.
The trees by the rain and wind.
It is very, 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 very windy up here. It's like, I think sustained winds in 30 mile per hour with gusts of
to
50 plus,
yeah,
which is not super common for here.
Yeah, it's a little wild.
And it's raining sideways. So
yeah,
it started about 4:30 this morning, which is when I woke up because I heard the wind pick up, and then I heard rain start hitting our window, and I was like, oh. And I got up because the new chicken coop, my husband has little shutters for the windows, but he hasn't completed those yet, so I hadn't put the little shutters in. And there's a south-facing windows and north-facing windows, and I'm like, oh, those little babies are going to get drenched if I don't go cover up the windows. So at 4:30 in the morning, it's pitch black outside. I go trudging out there with some sheet plastic and the staple gun, and I cover the whole side, and of course the wind is whipping by now, so I'm trying to
and it was pitch black. It was close to pitch really black dark at like 7.
Yeah,
it was
so
incredibly dark and dreary.
Yeah, so I didn't really go back to sleep after that.
I wouldn't imagine.
It was fine. I mean, at least I went back inside where it was cozy, and I felt. I'm one of those people.
That could have ended poorly.
Oh, is that your sleeve stitches?
Okay. All right, then.
Hey, you finished your row.
I did finish my row.
Nice.
So I've been continuing on my work on the throwback, as somebody suggested, which was awesome and made me chuckle.
Throwback. That's really funny.
It's throwback colorways. So I'm in the lots of stockinette for the body here. So that's probably a good 5-6 inches ish.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So I have about 3 more to go before I start the ribbing. And then I have the sleeves. So as you might have guessed, there's no way this sweater is getting done for this weekend. Don't worry, I have plenty of sweaters to wear this weekend. It's only a matter of which ones.
Yeah, mine's not getting done for this weekend either.
But it will be done soon, which is nice. And then I will have a nice cardigan to wear.
It's really cute.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I like it.
really cute.
I like these colors.
I do
the
too.
browns and greens, and it's just fun.
Yep.
And so I also did cast on a new project, which you guys haven't seen, in a very similar color palette.
I was going to say, it's very similar.
Yeah. And I spend a lot of time yammering in the outtakes about how this project came to be. But it's going to be for the Warmth with Yarn cowl that we're doing. So I'm going to knit a few things out of this yarn. I think I have enough, and whatever I make out of that, I'll donate in.
Speaking of which, we have gotten so many amazing donations.
That's awesome.
Marianne, I know you watch. I just have to say, oh my gosh, we got a box of soap sacks. Yeah. And there's some beautiful Yardley soaps tucked down into them. I think it was like 21 of them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some market bags.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was amazing. And she's not the only one. That one just came this week, so her name
fresh in her mind.
Fresh in my mind. But there's a lot of other ones that have come in.
It's amazing. You guys are awesome.
It's just, I was almost crying when I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
You know, and the places that we share those with are so appreciative and so gracious for those donations. It's they go to good use.
They really do.
And so
they sent us really lovely thank you notes.
Yeah. So I may have tagged the wrong project in my project notes. Hang on. Hold that thought. I need to go look.
I might
have to fix this. That was weird. My brain. I don't know.
Sick brain.
Yeah, I linked the wrong pattern.
That's cute too.
It is cute, different. Isn't it?
It's not the one you're doing.
Oh my god. Sorry. So I linked. Oh, you can't see that. Too shiny. I linked a pattern called Aeroplano by Leslie Roth, which is like a poncho kind of thing, knit on worsted weight. And when I was setting up my project page, I must have just glanced at the one in my favorites. It's the wrong pattern. So I'm actually knitting. Let me go find the right pattern here. That's embarrassing.
You can blame it on sick brain.
I might. Wow, there's a lot of
midwinters.
Yeah. I might have to do this later. So anyway, I'm actually knitting this, which is Midwinter by Fogbound Knits, which is this really cute, bulky weight shoulder cowl. And here's a picture of it kind of laid out. So it's got a rolled top, and then you increase and do various color work.
That's cute.
That's hysterical and really embarrassing. But let me go fix that before you go to my project page and be like, I don't know what she was talking about.
Is she really knitting this in bulk?
It's not the right pattern. So anyway, I had a bunch of Cascade 128 superwash in my stash from when a yarn store that we all like to shop at actually went out of business. Or not, that makes it sound like they were having financial problems. They retired. But
and nobody took it over, so.
Yeah. So I had all of this, which I had bought to do some other projects, hats and mittens and things. But, so it's this dark brown, I have this nice white cream, a blue, and then there's, I'm working in a lighter a lighter brown in there as well.
I think I have a skein of that color.
Probably. This is actually, this is Knit Picks.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine's more camel-y color than mocha color.
But it's basically the same. I mean, it almost looks like the same yarn.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Might be made in the same mill.
Probably made in the same mill.
That happens a lot.
Yep. So, superwash, 128 superwash, so bulky. It's knit on US 10 and a halves or 6.5 millimeters. So big needles. I liked the color work portion of it. I thought it would be a quick project. And I'll probably do like a hat and maybe some fingerless mitts or regular mittens, depending on how much yarn I have left, to go with it, and kind of bundle it up as a set for somebody, so they have a nice little set of things. So that was, I cast that on. I did most of this on Sunday. So of course, if I had actually worked on my other sweater on Sunday, I might be a lot further along. But no, I decided to cast on a new project. Because why not? Actually, I had a good reason. I hadn't wound my second yarn baby. And so I was like, I don't want to get too far along, because at some point I need to probably join in the second skein. And I can't wind those yarn babies at home because my ball winder is not big enough to take a yarn baby. So I had to bring it here.
And you didn't want to cut it.
I don't want to cut it. That defeats the purpose of having a yarn baby.
I know.
Less ends to weave in.
Exactly.
So I had to wait till Monday when I could pop in and complain that I didn't get to go anywhere because I was sick. But it's fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else you got?
That's it. It's been a light week.
That's okay. I totally understand.
Yeah,
that.
by the time I get to the end of the day, I've been doing lots of just going to bed instead of staying up for a bit once the kids go down.
I, on Tuesday, spent the day getting everything. Well, I got the baby chickens that aren't really babies anymore moved into their new coop. Oh my God. They were not happy with me. So I have this bin I put them in because they're so much bigger now. I could only put like 3 or 4 of them in at a time, and they were not amused with me like taking them from their safe space and moving them.
Yep.
But now they love it. They love their new coop. It's so bright and open, and so. But that was a little bit of an ordeal. But everybody moved safely and into their new spot.
Oh, that's good.
And then I spent the rest of the day setting up their run, which isn't completely done yet, so I have to finish doing that. But
nice.
it's just about done, so they'll be all tucked in for the winter in their nice insulated, toasty, warm coop.
Rough life being a chicken at your house.
I know. They have coop palaces.
Yeah.
So
It's fine.
Oh, but we did get.
Oh, yes. I'll dig mine out. I didn't.
So, from Darn Yarn MN Chelsea, we got I know, I stuffed mine in my bag and it got a little wrinkly.
Mine's been in my bag.
Mine is the brown, and has nutmeg, and there's a black one too. We've got one of each color in stock. Mine has sparkles too. And so these are a really nice tote bag that can be converted into a backpack. So there's 2 of the straps here, so you can wear them over your shoulders like a backpack, or you can clip them up onto the D-rings at the top and use it more like
a shoulder bag.
Shoulder bag, tote bag. They're really generously sized.
You got options.
A nice zipper pocket in the front, which is great, and then there's another pocket on the inside, which is really nice. There's a little pocket on the inside, and they're really, really deep.
And her
you can put a ton of stuff in there.
Construction and just sewing and attention to detail is amazing.
I know.
She made one of our bag sets for the Seasons of Vermont a year or so ago. She does the peekaboo bags, and
she did those awesome meerkat bags.
Yeah, she sent us those. I think mine's in here. Yeah.
which is
so she also
sweet.
does this
The wool
style
wedge,
with the wool bottom.
which we just restocked those. We've got this size and we've got the next size up, and they're really reasonably priced.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I don't know how she does it, but they're lovely. They have wool fabric on the bottom, and then they have really fun prints on the top. We don't have any.
We don't have any meerkats. Sorry, those were special.
But we do have some, and check out her Etsy store too, because she gets really awesome fabrics.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of the folks who do the sewing. Amy Beth, Fat Squirrel is one of them. She's another one where it's clearly they're scouring.
This is one of Amy Beth's.
Yeah,
but I got it.
Needles Up last year.
They're
They're clearly scouring not the usual places for fabric, and they seem to both find really sort of cool and unique fabrics.
Sorry.
Which is part of the appeal for both of their bags, because they're so one of a kind and just not the same as what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. They are, and Chelsea's doing some really cool stuff design-wise with hers, which I really like. So she's got a number of different styles. The wool wedges is a great all-around bag, but she's got some of the roll top bags that then close that way, and she's got some other totes and a lot of different options. So definitely, well, I'll have to try to remember to put her information in show notes, so that you guys can. Yeah,
her stuff's cool. I got introduced. I stumbled across that bacon bag that I have.
That's right,
Peekaboo bacon.
Yeah,
it's one of the fabrics is actual strips of bacon, and the other one says "Keep calm and eat bacon." And I was like, I want that bag, and the rest was history. And now I got all these other bags. We have them in the store, and that's how it works.
Yep.
So
it is. That's believe it or not, we actually are working when we go to. We
are, because we're looking for
events.
new things to bring in. Like what are people looking for? What are people putting together? We get ideas. We make contacts.
Yeah.
We get to meet some of you folks, which is fantastic. We love that.
That's really fun.
Come find us. We will have goodies. We have a sort of smorgasbord of goodies to give out this weekend. So come find us. We got things. We got things for you.
And if Angela buys too much fingering weight yarn, she just may start handing that out.
I might just start handing it out. Just because. Why not? So bad.
Not really, but
So bad. It's a problem. So we do have some couple knit-alongs going right now. We have our Warmth with Yarn cowl, which we've talked about already with it's basically our version of the mitten tree. All the details are up on the Ravelry page, our Ravelry group, if you have any questions about when that's running, where stuff's going, or how you can participate if you don't live near us and you don't want to ship us stuff. So we've tried to set it up to be as open as possible for everyone, which I think is awesome. And we also have the Vermont along. So this is we're celebrating Vermont's designers and yarn dyers.
And yarn makers.
And
farmers.
So if you use a pattern that was designed by a Vermont designer, that counts as an entry, or that would count for the contest, the cowl, or yarn from a Vermont farm or a Vermont dyer.
Or mill.
Or if you use both, you can have 2 entries for prizes. So we're going to run that through January 1st to give everybody time. There's lots of cool patterns. We put a bundle together, so if you go to the Ravelry group, you can see a bundle of the various designers. Yep. And I know people have already gotten started. I think there's already some finished objects. I've seen some cool hats that people are working on.
Nice.
Some folks are starting projects that they bought at the retreat.
Oh, cool.
So I was
that's cool.
Yay! Motivation.
Yeah.
So I did lock the thread for the shift along. So that I closed that last week and drew prizes. So I drew for 2 prizes. this time, because you guys, if you need some shift inspiration, just go take a look at the finished objects thread. There's so many cool shawls and hats and a sweater. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love the color combinations that are out there. People are doing some really fun stuff with it.
All right, so I drew 2 prizes.
Yep.
Let's start with our first winner, who was post number 27. She knit the night shift, and her Ravelry user is O to Knit More, and she's Kirsten from Tennessee. That's her shawl.
Oh, that's pretty.
That she knit. Yep. She was using leftovers, which is awesome. That's exactly what that pattern's for. And she actually added an extra section because she had enough yarn. So it's a really customizable option. So, and what did Kirsten win? Kirsten win. All right, so we dug into our pile of goodies because I didn't go through my stash as promised, but we have got lots of goodies here. So we have this great arm bag with the little pockets on the front.
Great for standing in line when you're waiting, like when you're waiting to get into a festival.
Yes, perfect for a small project.
Or waiting for dinner reservation.
Yeah, sock or a hat would fit perfectly in here. So we've got this great little sheepy arm bag for you, and a skein of the Plymouth Zeno. So if you wanted to do another,
or work on some socks while you're standing in line.
Or work on some socks while you're standing in line, this is your prize. So if you could message myself or Kelly, probably better Kelly, because I would have to
she
send
just forwards it to me if she
send it to Kelly anyway. With your address, we will get this out in the mail to you. So congratulations.
Yay!
Hey. I don't know if anybody's picked up, but I've been putting like little graphics and fun stuff, like streamers and things.
Nice.
Yeah. Somebody take my computer away. All right, and our second winner, because I had to draw 2 prizes, because you guys did such an awesome job. Post number 35, and I will say I random number generated both of these, so why they were so close together, I don't know.
Because it was random.
Blame it on random number generator. So post number 35, Bazzk, Basque. So this is Christina from Massachusetts, and she did the sweater.
I saw that on Instagram when she posted.
So cool.
It's really pretty. I want to do that sweater.
Love it.
I still want to do it with
gorgeous.
handspun at some point, but
I think it would look beautiful with handspun.
it
So
looks great.
congratulations.
Everybody did such a great job with their
Oh, and what did she win? I'm doing
something very similar.
It's very similar. So we've got another arm pouch with the pockets, and a crazy sour ball. Sour ball. What's the matter with me? Sour ball. In these fun colors, which also could be used for shifty stuff. So
Or socks. Or
whatever
whatever you like.
Whatever. So
Those actually be almost good Christmas socks.
that's right.
Holiday socks.
Exactly.
Whatever.
So Christina, if you can also message Kelly or me, probably better Kelly.
Or me. She says with some reserve.
I know. I'm just going to send it to Kelly anyway. Send us your address and we'll get that prize out in the mail to you. So congratulations. Thank you to everybody who participated. If the chatter threads are any indication, people are having fun.
I know.
And that's the important part.
I think there's going to be a lot of people doing the Vermont Along, which I think is really fun. Oh, the other thing for the Vermont Along, too, is you can knit anything out of the Nomadic Knits Vermont issue number 5.
Exactly. Yes, that was another rule we added on the fly on the podcast. Yes, so if you knit something out of there, that counts too.
Yep. And you can double dip if Green Mountain
Totally
Spinnery is still doing their Felix along. I don't know what the end date is on that, but we don't mind.
We don't care. We allowed whipses. We're pretty laid back with the rules.
Yep.
If it's close and you can justify it to me, I'll probably say yes. Very few times I've said no when people have asked me, does this count? So.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
What else we have? Anything?
I think that's about it.
Okay. Well, if you are going to Rhinebeck, we will be doing the podcaster meetup
on Saturday.
1.
Yep.
I believe is usually when they do it on the hill, which is kind of the hill right in the middle of everything. Food vendors
for the
on
big crowd.
This side, yeah, exactly.
Of people standing randomly around talking to each other.
Yeah. It's kind of between the animal hill is here, the building and food vendors are here, and the hill is kind of like there.
Did you get that?
Between the two gates.
That's probably the better way to describe it. It's between the two gates next to where they do the frisbee dogs.
Yep, exactly.
Usually.
They had those weird sheep creatures that one
last year.
Yeah.
It was strange.
They were scaring me a little.
We have goodies, and like I said, feel free to say hi if it doesn't have to be at the podcaster meetup.
Yeah.
If we're out walking around, pop over, say hi, we take some pictures, tag everybody on Instagram.
Mr. Kelly Ospins is coming with me.
Mr. Kelly Ospins. we should have had him a t-shirt made. Mr. Kelly Ospins. That's awesome. That's funny. Mine would be Mr. Junior Bird Kid. He'd be like, I'm not wearing that.
My husband wouldn't care. He's so good. He's such a good sport. He wears a Must Love Yarn t-shirt to Stitch and Pitch for us, showing his solidarity with us.
Nice.
I know. He's a good guy.
Mr. Kelly Ospins. I was having some other things made. And if I was on my game, I'm so off my game. My brain's all muddled. I could have had him a Mr. Kelly Ospins shirt. Because that would have been freaking hilarious.
It's probably going to be sweater weather anyway, so we'll probably have cozy sweaters on.
Probably. So, well, now I have a future project for our spouses. Anyway, so if you are going to be at Rhinebeck, come find us, say hi. If you're not going to be at Rhinebeck, some other time we'll connect with you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about doing a live.
Yeah.
So, and we may do a couple of them because
Yep.
we've had kind of a split between people that want us to do a morning and people that want us to do an afternoon / evening one. So
I think we should get one on the books in November.
Okay.
We'll talk. We'll figure it out. And
we won't do it and torture you.
No. I know.
Because we have to look at our calendars and stuff anyway.
I know you guys like it when we sit here and do that, but it's getting more complicated. So to try to plan without it taking lots of time. So anyway, so we'll get that.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Classes. We do have some classes up, and we're going to be adding more for later in the winter too. So you can, if you're local or local-ish and want to check out what classes we've got going on, those are up on the website too.
Awesome.
And we actually have Andrea is going to be running her shift class again, which was really, really popular and filled up last time.
Nice. And
that's next weekend though, so.
Green Mountain Spinnery Trunk Show with Larissa.
The 9th of November.
November
we haven't.
9th.
I think it's going to be in the afternoon. We haven't settled on the time yet, but that is
cool
when it's going to be. So if you want to come and see some of the fun yarns that they don't wholesale,
because they usually bring
what they'll have. That's what she'll have with her, and samples to try on and check out. So,
yay! Super fun.
Very fun.
Nice.
Yep. Sweet. We're gonna wrap it up so Ange can get on the road.
Get on the road. Get to Rhinebeck.
That's right.
Get on the road.
Get on the road.
Yeah. While it's still late.
Yeah.
For like the hour or so that it will be late.
So we will see all next weekend with some fun stories from our weekend.
I'm sure. Absolutely. I'm going to try not to fall down the stairs this time.
Oh, gosh. Are there stairs at the house?
Probably. Yeah, I think there are.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I can be klutzy. All right, that's probably our sign. It's time to sign off. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
Everyone. See you later.
Bye. And
I don't know what's happening. Why the thing is so weird. I don't even know which one I should raise. Probably that one. And
yeah, I have to do both.
that one. Ooh,
There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Now it's like...
And if you tilt, what if we just... Hold on. Let's do this.
So if they have good internet at our rental house, so I can upload the podcast tonight when I get there. Probably everybody seems to have better internet than what I have at my house, so...
Is that okay?
That's fine. Works for me. So is it bad that how happy I was that soccer got canceled today?
No, because it's miserable.
It's ridiculous out there. I should probably go get a couple of cough drops right now. Uh-oh. Sorry, Smudgy. Looks like it's gonna be super awesome weather on Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
How many people do you think are gonna be there on Saturday? It's supposed to be super nice. The 60s.
Lot.
40,000 people probably. 30,
lot.
40.
Probably.
700.
Last year
billion.
it was since it was so much warmer.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people who were just looking for something to do, not even necessarily Knitters, came out.
Yeah.
And I think that might happen again.
I think you're right. 'Cause it's supposed to be, I think, 60s both Saturday and Sunday.
Is it supposed to be that warm down there?
And sunny. Yeah, it's only going to be in the 50s up here, but
Yeah.
it's going to be warmer down there.
My next sweater.
Purdy. I cast on a new thing too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sweet.
The bunch of stash yarn. I was tossing some sections of my stash to make room for probably this weekend's wool piggery that's going to happen. Yarn piggery. I'm trying to be really good, but it's not working. I'm making that.
Oh, that's cute.
I think it's going to be for the warmth of yarn cowl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that. It's bulky yarn. Because when I was going through one of my old deep stash bins, I found a whole bunch of Cascade 128 from when Knits and Bolts went out of business.
Yep.
And I just happened to have enough of various different colors and one other sort of supplemental bulky yarn to cast it on. So
cool.
That's how far I've gotten.
Fun.
I can't seem to stop knitting projects with color work.
Hey, you know, I just can't stop knitting sweaters.
Well, that too. I was hoping that I was like, oh, this is going to be a fast project because it's bulky yarn, and then I hit the color work, and there's any row where there's like 3 colors at once. It's a slog fest.
Yeah.
Just because that's a lot of strings to be untangling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of that, and I was bound and determined I was going to get done with this one, which I have not, because there was very little knitting over the weekend. I pretty much almost did not get out of bed on Saturday. Had to call in like the SOS to Jen. Actually, I sent her a warning text on Friday when I left in like the middle of the afternoon because I literally could barely function. I was like, I'm just letting you know now, I'm going home because I can't hardly function. I may not be available tomorrow. So one of the nice things about having awesome business partners is when that happens, people are more than willing to step up to the plate and cover. So, because it would have been ugly. I would have lost my voice very quickly into the day, and I sounded horrible. Like, you don't want to be working retail when you sound horrible like that.
No, because people are
like, you're gonna get me sick.
Yeah,
I probably am. So
yeah,
the cameras seem really far away today.
a little
I
bit.
think that's the problem.
I think it is.
You guys are gonna get to listen to me do that throughout the podcast. And as horrible as that is for your ears, trust me, it's even worse for my throat and chest.
Yeah.
Super fun times. So I cannot get my brain wrapped around any projects that I want to shop for.
No.
Which is bad, because it means it's going to fall back on impulse buying.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah. But
Are you banned from sweater quantities this year?
You know what?
Fingering weight?
I give up because I said that last year, and
you went with Jen. If you tell me, I'll slap it out of your hands if you like.
Slap it out of my hands, or make me justify it as to why, if it's fingering weight. I have a ridiculous number of fingering weight sweater quantities yarn currently in my possession. Now, DK worsted and potentially bulky. Speaking of projects, have you seen this new sweater by Tanis LaValle?
Probably not. I haven't been catching up on anything.
Well, first off, this thing is like,
Whoa.
I want to make one.
That's wild.
Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Have you guys seen this yoke o'clock?
That's wild.
Isn't that amazing?
That's cool.
Sorry, I was pulling some patterns for people for Advent. Oh, that's not it. This one. Metropolis.
Oh, that's cute.
It's a bulky.
It's kind of like this.
It is. It is. I kind of like the big collar.
Yeah, it's cute.
And it's knit on 10s and 11s.
Nice.
Also nice. So, I don't know. I might be keeping my eye out for some bulky weight.
Cool.
I think I want to make the Weekender.
Yeah, I've had.
So, that's worsted weight.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like DK weight sweaters. So, I could see buying, sweaters quantity of some DK and then figuring it out.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of great patterns out there.
And instead, I will buy 12 skeins of sock yarn. And 12 more project bags. And
some stitch markers.
And some stitch markers.
Some buttons.
Buttons. I don't think I bought any buttons last year. I got that under control.
I think I did either.
Because I haven't used any of the buttons I bought previously. Suker is going to be at Needles Up.
I saw that, yeah.
I was like, I don't need any more of this Progress Keepers. I have so many.
Well, I just bought the wee ones. Halloween ones. When she was at Vermont Sheep and Wool.
I did buy a lot, and you know what?
I did do
this one.
I did do a Trinkles pre-order.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't. Not for Rhinebeck stuff.
So I have to pick that up at Indian Tangled.
Nice.
And same with some yarn at
I mean,
Lola
who
Bean.
puts like army.
Oh, that's right. I remember you were
Wow,
you
they're
were
cold.
told me that you were did that.
But they did.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this? That has
See, because now
kind of all
I've already paid for it.
So well, yeah.
Not be a bad
You're coming
idea.
home with it. So.
Yeah.
because the other's a little
Yeah.
sort of solid. I mean, it has
Uh-huh.
a texture to
Yes,
it,
but it's it.
and then you can't go wrong because the
Oh, you're right.
it'll have lots of different purples and greens.
It'll be fun.
It will be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Except I have to drive in this. That's what I'm not
know.
excited about.
I know. Yeah, you have to be really careful on the way down. Hopefully, you'll be driving out of it.
100 meters, so it's probably. like 100
Yeah. I think maybe.
Another one in case.
Oh, we have 2 more.
Why don't they?
Well, at least you'll get like all the most of the windy road stuff out of the way
of
before
daylight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It won't.
And then just do the mostly interstate driving when it starts getting darker.
I'm probably gonna hit Albany right at like rush hour.
Oh.
I was like, I didn't plan this very well. Oh well. Oh well. It is what it is.
Cool.
Well, should we get started? We'd had a really long podcast last week, which was amazing because I couldn't hardly talk. And look, I'm finding this stuff everywhere.
Oh, the fuzzy yarn.
That fuzzy yarn sheds, the mohair sheds.
Oh.
So I'm finding little pieces of purple mohair all over from when I wore Love Notes last week.
Well. Oh, swatch.
Oh, sorry, Swatchy.
Swatch fell. My hair is doing funky things because
The weather's all weird.
the wind was blowing so hard. I was just like, yeah. Oh well. It's fine. I don't care. Shall we
We shall.
get to it?
Look, then I can cut that part out.